What do I think about the rapid increase in the number of streamers using their breasts and ass on the Twitch platform to garner viewership? To be frank with you, I just kind of respect the hustle at this point, not because I'm going to champion those type of streams or put them on a pedestal or anything like that, but in content creation, we see people have to jump through hoops, loopholes, and have special rules allocated for them and adjusted for them all the time. And much like YouTube, Twitch only speaks the language of the almighty dollar, and they don't mind translating it to the euro, the yen, the rupee, and the like. If it's an avenue of content and it makes money, none of these corporations are going to stand in the way of it, especially if it's making money hand over fist. Especially since Twitch is going to be taking 30 to 50% minimum of every donation and subscription on the platform itself. They're not going to stop any potential cash cow unless it directly impacts how we look at Twitch from a socially acceptable standpoint, as in racism, porn, the extreme omega cases. Like, unless you're in that avenue, they're not going to be doing much because money is money to them. You got to remember, this is a company that ran anti-union ads on behalf of their parent company, Amazon, after all. And I do think it's unfair to demonize streamers for pushing the content envelope if the company has no intention of putting a stop to it. I know Twitch is not the gamers only club many of the folks out there wanted, but we are in an era where ASMR, IRL, and just chatting are frequently at the top categories on the platform, which, for better or worse, Twitch has evolved past the unary of gaming. As of this recording, the top stream right now has about 80K viewers watching an illegal broadcast of Liverpool Football Club versus Real Madrid in a Champions League match, while another 62,000 viewers are watching someone named Rubius just cook food. So the whole gaming is the only game in town argument really holds no weight here. Not to mention we have plenty of games with adult themed content ranging from sexual themes and drug use to grotesque gore and the like. So I think a little bit of cleavage and some hips aren't going to kill anyone. But there are women out there who only use their looks for views. What about them specifically? What about them? And my question to you is, okay, what about them? Okay, and? We all know that there are streams like this. There are even streams that violate dress codes set forth by Twitch. Absolutely true. Many of which have been reported, some repeatedly so, and Twitch has taken zero action. Like, look at this clip here of Lisa Hardy. This is a stream that is out here on Twitch with a couple thousand viewers right now. Your issue at this point has nothing to do with these streamers. Your issue lies with Twitch and the viewer base of these streams. Keep in mind, this is the same Twitch that tells us to mute all the music that we don't own. This is the same Twitch that then goes behind our back and says, hey, look, if you get copyright struck for even having 10 seconds of music playing during your stream, you're out of here, bud. I'm sorry. We're going to get rid of your channel. We're going to get rid of all your content, and we don't know you. Sorry you're going through the Okefenokee swamp, but we don't know you, Artichoke. And it's really weird how this is the same Twitch that will still have categories like Guitar Hero and DJ Hero listed while still having rules. If you don't have copyright licenses to any of the music, even if it's in-game, you're going to have to mute it in-game as well, which has led to some developers like Cyberpunk 2077 developer CD Projekt Red going out of their way to make a copyright-friendly music mode for streamers. Yes, I know, ridiculous, is it not? And this is the same Twitch that, with all of that aforementioned gobbledygook going on the platform, still pushes DJs who do not have any copyrights or any sort of legal authority to stream music by pushing their music section to the forefront of the website. But they're stealing our viewers. As I stated earlier, the people who are simping in these channels aren't here for you. Anyone going to Twitch, of all places, for lewd or skimpy content, clearly, and I can't emphasize this enough, clearly have zero interest in your gaming accolades. From your world record speedruns, your high scores, your personal best, your max damage runs, your no-hit runs, your 20 bomb dubs, your low percent extravaganzas, your sickest of all comeback kills, or your montage-worthy clip. If they came to the platform for the specific purpose of looking at some cleavage or treating someone like an idol, like idol culture out east, they were never in your demographic to begin with. Besides, a lot of streamers who are complaining about this and have been harping about this issue for years about they're stealing my viewers. are less entertaining than watching paint dry. So of course, a little bit of TNA is going to beat them out. Do you think women get some opportunities just because they're women? Absolutely. In any space dominated by one demographic, companies are always on the prowl for talent that falls outside of the norm. They do this not because they necessarily care about showing diversity, but it reflects good on them to be seen as a company that strives to achieve diversity in the workplace. Diversity is a common selling point to recruit students to universities and workers into a workplace. Hell, there are even collegiate scholarships that have a simple qualification. You just have to be left-handed. That's not a joke. Look up. There are scholarships just for being left-handed because the right-handers are just such an oppressive group. So, of course, this ideology is going to carry over to garnering viewership. Arguing whether it's a good or bad thing, I believe, is irrelevant because we've seen plenty of talent come through and shine bright like a diamond when put into hosting roles, commentary gigs, even going out to dominating in invitationals. And we've seen many people from different walks of life, doesn't matter which gender, religion, creed, etc., go on and show that they are the GOATs of their game. They are the top of their field. And we have to just say hats off, respect it, and salute that. Now, that being said, we've also seen the opposite, where women or any other group that you want to go with that's a minority are being used as a gimmick to sell a product. Like, for example, remember when those people wanted to use women to sell headsets called bully hunters? And for those of you who don't know what that is, let me give you a quick rundown. Women are apparently so inept and so inadequate when it comes to defending themselves against toxic gamers that women need to have a button for them where they can click it, and it would allow a professional gamer of whatever game you're playing to take over your account remotely so they can use your account to beat the bully and showcase that you are the better gamer. Air quotes. Yeah, they did that. They did all of this just to sell headsets. Then you found out that you couldn't even do that. That feature doesn't exist. And everything that you saw showcased in the video feed was fake, staged, paid actors. Once again, all to sell stupid, gaudy headsets with the Bully Hunter logo on it. Then you had the Team Siren issue, and instead of going out and actually finding women players who were godlike and up to snuff, they just said, we're just going to get 5 women who are decent, and we're going to go with that. And then they got rolled, and then 18 days later, they shut it down. And then you had a similar thing happen not too long ago with Team Invictus Esports, which have been kicked out of the LCL because they've been getting washed and dominated in like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 14 minutes or less. And don't get me wrong, this is more on the people who put these products together than it is for the women involved. But the fact of the matter remains that people will use anyone, regardless of demographic, etc., because in business, perception is reality. So just looking like you care about humanity is worth infinitely more than actually caring about humanity. And in closing, my main thought here is the fact that corporations and corporate entities as a whole will use women and any other minority under the sun to make a quick buck. They'll monetize Black Lives Matter. They'll monetize Stop Asian Hate. They'll use any sort of slogan that they can get their hands on that is made by an activist or anybody else who's trying to see the progression of a people or group of people just to make a quick buck. Now, that being said, yes, there are women who are skirting by the rules just like there are men doing the same thing in the land of technology, esports, such is life. But ultimately, I'm trying to say this. Some of y'all be looking at people who make streams like this, and then y'all try to project that on every single female gamer on the platform, anybody who's out here just making content who just so happens to identify as a woman, and y'all be going after them and lambasting them and labeling them as so many different things under the sun. Y'all gotta stop looking at these things in absolutes where if this person does it, then it's all of them. Because at some points, I'm starting to see some of y'all making arguments to a girl showing neck, she deserves to go to heck. And I really can't get on the same boat with those people because y'all be wildin'. Y'all definitely be wildin' with some of these statements that y'all be making. And I know some of y'all may want proof that corporate entities are taking advantage of minorities. Well, do you remember a couple years ago when they decided to have a Black History Month, Black Lives Matter extravaganza, but when they ran the ad, it only had one person of color on the entire ad when it was just a bunch of white people? Man, that didn't go over very well. Or how about this year with Wamixin? You remember that? Where they were trying to make trans people feel ousted from being women. Remember that? Remember that? Yeah, y'all remember that. The cycle continues.